Who's ready for a show? Coming at you in 3, 2, 1. Marcus Speaks. What is happening? What's going on? Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Marcus Speaks Live. I'm your host, Marcus. Let's get this cracking. So, let me get through a few things before we start. And it's gonna go a little something like this. If you're watching your screen right now, right there at the bottom, I have "Welcome to Marcus Speaks Live." If you could, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Marcus Speaks. Okay, hit that bell to all it so you can get all of my notifications for every video that I post. Also, don't be shy. There's a live chat on Facebook. It's over here or at the bottom or something like that. On YouTube is right there at the bottom. If you turn your screen, it goes wherever the chat goes. So whatever. Type in the live chat so we can get this conversation cracking. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. I don't even got my theme music playing. Hold on. Get that theme music cracking. There we go. Also, on Fridays, I do a game stream where you watch me play video games, but at the same time, you can have fun right along with me. So, if you could, please, if you have kids or anything like that, please join the show. It's a great show. Last night, I got embarrassed. I died several times in this game I was playing, so if you want to laugh at that, please come over here either to my main channel or I have a second channel also called Marcus Speaks Play. Alright? So, as with Marcus Speaks Play, the link is in the description below. My second channel is called Marcus Speaks Play. Later, you can find it. If you go onto my main channel, Marcus Speaks, you'll see Marcus Speaks Play right underneath the channel title. Alright? I am using Restream.com to simultaneously cast this show to both YouTube and Facebook. The reason why I say this every time is for the simple fact that some people like Streamlabs, some people like StreamYard. I particularly like Restream. Because you don't have to pay a whole bunch of money for Restream like you do StreamYard. But that's besides the fact. But Restream, if you're watching, StreamYards has scrolling text, so if you can put scrolling text, I'd like that. Everybody, if you have any sort of show idea or recommendation for a story of what you want to see me do, you can either leave them in the comment section, the live chat, so the comment section of either Facebook or YouTube, or you can hit me up in the live chat, which I'm looking at right now, and it's right here, as well as my DMs on social media. And the way you can find me is on Instagram at marcus.speaks.podcast, on Facebook at Marcus Speaks. Alright, that's the personal page. The group page is Marcus Speaks Podcast. The way you can find that, you can probably find it either if you type in Marcus Speaks Podcast, or if you just type in Marcus Speaks PC. I'm not sure because I don't search myself. So either or would do to find the group page, join the group page. This is also streamed not only to my personal page, but as well as my group page. So, however you're watching this, I'd much rather you come over here to YouTube, get my YouTube channel cracking. But yeah, please join those, subscribe to both my Facebook and YouTube and Facebook group page. Sorry, I'm on Twitter at Marcus.speaks20. Not Marcus.speaks. Sorry, Marcus Speaks 25. Same way you see it right there on the screen is the same way that you'll find it when you go and search it. So those are my social medias. If you want to find me, everything Marcus Speaks or Marcus Speaks Podcast. So the way that you see it displayed right there is how we are. But once again, I have a main channel and I have a second channel. My main channel is I do everything on the main channel. I do Marcus Speaks Play. I do my podcast. Marcus Speaks Shorts is on here, which I haven't done in a while, but bear with me. I'm still thinking what I should do with that. What else? Well, I'm on vacation for the next 2 weeks, so you might see me every day as well. So if you could, go subscribe to both channels. Both channels have each other channel on its page. So if you subscribe to Marcus Speaks, go ahead and subscribe to Marcus Speaks Play. As well, if you go on Marcus Speaks Play, subscribe to Marcus Speaks, the main page, all right? I would like if you guys go and subscribe, okay? My goal, and it's not looking very good, but my goal is to get to 500. Maybe that's too much, so I'll shorten it, 350. I want to get to 350 before the end of the year, all right? And everybody, if you could, I'm not begging you, but I am asking, please like this video, share this video, share the channel as well to your social medias, okay? And subscribe to my channel if you're new. If you're new as well, hit that bell icon to get all of my notifications, okay? It's not hard. You subscribe, you see the bell, you hit all, and then after that, I do all the work. The only thing you have to do is either like the video or write a comment. That's the only thing that I ask for you. It's all free. You ain't doing nothing. Get up off your ass. Come on. Sorry, that was my Everest College impression. But yeah, that is that. So I would like if you guys subscribe. And if you're on Facebook watching, come on over here to YouTube at Marcus Speaks, okay? The way that you can find me, when you type in Marcus Speaks, look for this thumbnail. Alright? So, who's ready for a show? So, this is what we about to do here. Before we start, right? I usually have something that I show, because when I do my show, when I do my podcast, when I'm talking, when I'm making my points, I play videos. The reason why I play videos is to further what I'm trying to talk about. And with that, I can't play them unless I do this first. Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107. All right. So with that, that is basically a disclaimer for the algorithms of both YouTube and Facebook, letting them know that I am using videos and I do know the laws. So fair use is in as well as there's a fair use description in the description sections of both YouTube and this Facebook video. The one thing that I didn't say, which I always forget, which is fine, but with the people over there on YouTube, right, when I simultaneously cast this to both Facebook and YouTube, once this video's done, the live video on Facebook goes down. I totally delete it, but Right now, the stream link is in its place right now. The YouTube stream link. So if you want to click on that stream link, come on over here to YouTube. Hey, I ain't stopping. Just come on over here. So, everybody, I know y'all been catching up with what's been going on in here in the news, right? Let me turn this music down just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I know y'all been paying attention to what's going on in the news, right? So there's a certain Hollywood couple that people have been speculating about if they have an open marriage or not. And they've kept it under wraps up until a certain point. And that certain point was for us the breaking point. And let's see where that got them.
You've been on a hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right.
You know, it's healing that needs to happen.
Yes, absolutely. So what happened, Jada?
Okay. So I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. And we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over.
We were
over. And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
That's what she said. But, you know, I wouldn't be me if I didn't do this.
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with...
Okay, I can't play the rest. I'm gonna get a copyright straight. But let me get back.
We've been on a hell of a journey with me. Health, his mental state, and we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over.
We were
over. And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
Hey, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
We decided that we were going to...
Okay, look, I know that we've seen this interview countless times, and I won't bore you through it, but we can all see the hurt in Will's eyes. So, let's get this cracking. Alright? So, in a recent interview with GQ, Hollywood superstar Will Smith got candid about his marriage. Ooh, I knew everybody is waiting on this shit to happen. I already know. So, let's get into this. Hollywood superstar Will Smith is opening up about his relationship with partner Jada Pinkett-Smith in more detail after it was reported that Jada had a romantic relationship with singer August Alsina, while the pair was separated a few years ago. While promoting his memoir, Will, the actor told GQ that he and Jada have had an open marriage where they have engaged in sexual relations with other people outside of the two of them. Now, if nobody doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about right now, last year they did a Red Table Talk around like July-ish or something like that, July-ish, August, when the reports came out that Jada had stepped out on Will several years, well, a few years before. I think that interview had happened. So they got candid in the Red Table Talk a little bit. It was just Will doing damage control before and getting in front of the situation before it could get out of control. But with that newfound information, the shit spun out of control a little bit. It died down after what, like 2 weeks or so. But it was hot news at the time. So, and there was memes of Will and his face and, you know, the whole shebang bang. Alright, it just happened. So, while Will did not get into the details, he did say that he had a difficult time wrapping his head around the concept at first because of his strict Christian upbringing. Meanwhile, Jada was more open to the idea as she had family members who had dealt in unconventional relationships before. Unconventional just means that either her grandfather or grandfathers or her uncles had kids with other women. That's basically it. Y'all know the deal. We all have family members like that. Hell, sorry, Pop-Pop, but you know, my Pop-Pop had shit going on. But anyway, that's besides the point. Alright. You know, they just had kids with other women. That's just what they mean by unconventional. Alright. That's how I took it. So that's how it's gonna be. But with that being said, Smith also opened up about his dream at one point of having a harem of girlfriends. So, if no one knows what a harem is, it's when you have a wife or not. But usually a harem is, you know, when a couple is trying to get into other sexual activities with someone else. They basically call it a threesome. But at the same time, it's like a married couple having a girlfriend. That's usually what happens in some cases now with this whole feminism shit. A girl usually has a husband and a boyfriend. I don't understand that concept, but anyway, yeah, a harem is basically, you know, someone outside of the marriage or outside a relationship that isn't particularly a part of the union of the two people that's participating in having somebody else. That's basically what a harem is. So, which include A-lister Halle Berry. Now look, Halle Berry and Will Smith, I don't think that would work. I just don't think it will work. But if Will thought it would work, hey, you know, more power to Will. Will finds as though that Halle Berry was sexy. Now, I would say Halle Berry from 1990 up until Swordfish, which I think happened in 2000, 2001. That's when Halle Berry looked her best. I don't know what the fuck she's going through because her hair looks dry now. Like I don't like girls whose hair look dry. Like her hair looks very dry. Just saying. Look, you know, she has mixed ancestry. Maybe that's how she likes wearing her hair now because she's in her 50s. But yeah, Anyway, let's keep going. So, I don't think think I played a video of sorts. So with that being said, let me finish this and I'll go back to what I missed and then I'll come back. So, Will said, I don't know where I saw it or some shit as a teenager, but the idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of, and all of that, it seems like a really great idea. Smith is reported to have said. You know when it came to him, right? I gotta do it again. I'm sorry.
You and I decided we would happen.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement, an entanglement, an entanglement with August.
That's when it happened. So, all right. So if you guys haven't been paying attention to the Red Table Talk, and I need my okay. So if y'all haven't been watching the Red Table Talk, this is what's been happening. Alright. So Jada had her 50th birthday over the past week here. And this is what she had to say when Arsenio Hall asked her a question.
Jada, Will jumped out of a helicopter on his 50th. What's on your bucket list? What you gonna do? Happy birthday.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Do you have a bucket list? That's a good question.
I actually do, but it's not
Physical.
It's just not physical.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm right there with you.
I absolutely have a bucket list. I really want to learn how to love, but I know what it isn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just on the journey of really understanding what love is.
Yeah. So everything on your bucket list right now is just part of your spiritual journey and your path right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So she basically wants to know how to love, and I don't understand how she doesn't know how to do that at this point. The only thing I have to say to that is, oh shit! How's it that you don't know how to love and you're 50 now and you've been married for practically 30 years now? Let's say 25. Around about that. They married in 97. It's 2000 now. 2021 now. So 07, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. So 21 years they've been married. So almost 25. So they've been together 21 years. How's it that you don't know how to love yet? And Will has showed you throughout the years of of him loving you, so you should have taken some tips, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so one moment, because I gotta get this shit queued up right. Okay. So, let's continue. Smith went on to add that marriage was not a prison to him or either Jada, if anything. Being honest with each other and themselves have strengthened their bond, the star stated. Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship. So she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. Which explains the predicament that you're in. Because, I would say Will really, really, really loves Jada or loved Jada. But with Jada's, how can I put this? With Jada's vivid understanding of what she wants to do, which is basically, because I don't know if you guys watch the Red Table Talk. I jump in and out for certain, like I jump in for like the juicy topics. If somebody's like talking about it online and shit, they be like, yeah, watch this, whatever. I'll watch it because usually what they're covering is a juicy topic, so I'll watch. So it was an episode that had happened on the Red Table Talk, and Jada brought up that she was a sex addict at one point, which makes us understand now why they don't have a conventional marriage as we all know it, of people joining together in union, but they don't have that sort of thing going on. So Will had to accept that his wife is going to be out here sleeping with other motherfuckers. So Will had to do the same. If you guys don't pay attention to Will's Instagram, his YouTube channel, any of his social medias really, you'll see Will sometimes hooked up with other females. Usually at the time, those are the women that he's dating. And the girls are usually very, very pretty. But, that's their life. And they have all right to do what they do. So, what shit skip? The fuck's that? All right. Let's get this going because I don't know. All right. So, what was I saying? Yeah, Will basically had to start dating other people. So our friend, and this is what I forgot to show. Will and Jada, they don't have a conventional marriage. It's open to the public. So everybody's, willing. If anybody's willing to participate in it with them, then I guess you go right along and help them. All right. So there were significant and endless discussions about what is relational perfection. What is the perfect way to interact as a couple? And for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose. We chose. Sorry, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection. Smith said, "We have given each other trust and freedom, with the belief that everybody has to find their own way. And marriage for us can't be a prison. And I don't suggest our rule for anybody. I don't suggest this rule for anybody. But the experience that the freedoms that we've given one another and the unconditional support, to me, is the highest definition of love." Oh, ain't that grand? But some of that shit don't sound right to most people because they don't really understand. But I'll let Will further explain what he means by that. Oh, sorry.
Was reflecting about love. And I asked her, I said, what did she think was, one of the biggest revelations that she had about love? And I thought that was a real deep idea. I remember the day I retired. I literally said to Jada, that's it. I retire. I retire from trying to make you happy. I need you to go make yourself happy and just prove to me that it's even possible. And after we cracked up, we started talking about, we came into this false romantic concept that somehow when we got married that we would become one. And what we realized is that we were two completely separate people on two completely separate individual journeys. And that we were choosing to walk our separate journeys together. And we decided that we were going to find our individual, internal, private, separate joy. But her happiness was her responsibility, and my happiness was my responsibility. And then we were going to present ourselves to the relationship and to each other already happy, not coming to each other begging with our empty cups out, demanding that she fill my cup and demanding that she meet my needs.
Nigga, what? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? He tries to philosophize everything. I know I said that shit wrong, but he tries to philosophically explain shit all the damn time. Just stop. Just say, my wife don't really like me all that much like she did Tupac. That, hey. But, well, really, Jada don't like you the same way that she likes Tupac. Just saying. Anyway, Will Smith says Jada wasn't the only one who was unfaithful.
Holy shit. Fair, and it's kind of...
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. Alright. In the GQ cover story, Will addressed the topic of his open marriage with Jada. The couple previously confirmed on Red Table Talk in July 2020 that she had an affair with R&B singer August Alsina while secretly separated from Will in 2015. But here's the backstory to that. They also had another Red Table Talk where they cleared up some things. Where people said that both of them were gay. They said no, that wasn't true. That's soon to come out. That they had an open marriage. They said no, that wasn't true. Now that's a lie. And then they also asked, well, where people said, and this shit's been going through the Black conscious community for years, that they were Scientologists. They said that that's not true. Now, they opened up about the open marriage part. It could be true that they may be Scientologists. Hey, one of Will's friends is Tom Cruise, so just saying. So, Wesley Lowry, who interviewed Will for the story, wrote, because the impetus for the Red Table Talk was Alsina's disclosures, a viewer could have walked away thinking that Jada was the only one engaged in other sexual relationships. When that was not Smith's what the fuck? When that was not explained to me in fact, the case. While the Fresh Prince star had more to say on the topic, the interviewer noted it was clear he was rubbing up against the guardrails that he and Jada had established about what they would discuss publicly. Now, this is possibly what I think, in my own words, think what happened. When Will told Jada, look, you go and find your happiness, and I'll go and find my happiness, then we'll come together and we'll share each other's happiness with each other so we can both be happy. This is when I think that conversation happened, where Jada basically said, look, I want to see other people, but I do want to be married to you. Which is understandable. Hold up real fast. Alright. I need to turn this up. Alright. So, what was I saying? Okay. So, I feel like when that happened, Will and Jada came together and both shared each other's happiness with each other. And then with that, that's when they had to talk, like, I want to see other people, but I still want to be married to you. So if you don't mind, I still want to love you, still want to be married to you, but I just want to, I like you, I love you, but I also want to see other people as well. That's what I feel as though that happened. As well as this, I feel as though, and I don't know if you guys heard this rumor, but when Jada was doing the show on, I think it was ABC or NBC, it was called Hawthorne. Reportedly, they said that Jada and Mark Anthony were both sleeping with each other. Now, at that time, Mark Anthony was married to Jennifer Lopez. So, does Jennifer Lopez as well? You know, Jennifer Lopez been with damn near everybody. So, does Jennifer Lopez have a same type of relationship with the people that she's with? Just ask. Alright. I think this is clipping too much. So, this is what I'm going to do. Instead of 120 hertz, let's do 180. Let's see where that gets us. If not, I'll change it back. So, he told, okay, so, guardrails. Jada had established about what discussed publicly. Okay, so he told me he talked with Jada, but when we spoke again a few weeks later, he said he wasn't sure he wanted to go much deeper. As you can see his eyes, he said he was tired because he was flying. He was, he was making his rounds because I think he was making a movie at that time, I think. So he had to fly in, do damage control, and then, fly back out. So, we don't know, but it's a juicy story, though. Will told Larry, I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to have a headline. But by the same token, I don't want to deal with the backlash of that in the world. What the Academy Award nominee would say on the topic of his marriage is that he and Jada, whom married in 1997, have given each other freedom to find their own way because they don't want their union which produced children, Jaden 23 and Willow 20, to feel like a prison to either of them. Will has a memoir coming out November 9th, and Lowry had a sneak peek and noted it foreshadowed marital acrimony from the couple's early days. Oh, marital acrimony. Sorry. It said Jada didn't want a traditional wedding ceremony, which if y'all ever look at the pictures, Will walk Jada down the aisle. So not really traditional, but relented. Uh, uh, didn't want a traditional wedding ceremony, but relented. That was that. Hold on, I'm going too fast. That was one of many compromises she made, also including Will convincing her to move into a 256-acre compound she didn't want to live in, which was also on the Red Table Talk as well. Will said he had some sort of like epiphany of like the perfect life and all this shit, and it was really he said he had a dream. It was more of his dream than him and Jada's. So when he bought the house that they're in now, that we see on the Red Table Talk sometimes, like the outside and shit like that. Jada didn't want to move into it. She hated the house. Basically, he built the house for her. She hated it, and then he didn't know what to do after that. So, but they live in the house now. They do the Red Table Talk production in there. So, yeah. I'm saying she loves the house now. So, what else matters? Which became another sore spot. As Will's stardom grew, Jada would wake up many mornings in tears, also said on the Red Table Talk. She passed on opportunities for her new metal band, Wicked Wisdom, to travel with Will for his projects. She also hated that he spent 3 years planning for her 40th birthday, leading to a huge fight. Now, come on, man. Look. Can we legitimately say that Jada hates Will in some sort of way? Like it's like a deep down thing. Like I feel as though that she tolerates Will for who he is, but for what he is, I really feel as though that she hates him. Like deep down inside. Like does she have some sort of like it's like it could be like a mental disorder. Hold on, wait, that's too strong. Maybe she has some sort of reason why she feels the way that she does. Because let's say this. Let's say that maybe her true love was supposed to be Tupac. But then with them growing apart, well, not really growing apart, but being friends, but on two opposite sides of the spectrum. Jada was in a TV show. Her star was being lit. She was trailblazing the industry for Black women actresses. She was in countless. Well, I wouldn't say she was in countless videos, but she had some movies under her belt. Before when he was living, and I really feel like that Tupac was her one and true love. But at the time, Tupac was also engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter, his twins. Not I forgot what the one who acts now, but it's her twin that he was engaged to. It's something with an R. I can't really think of it, but I don't really feel as though that Jada has told Will her real feelings. Or if she has, Will is okay with it. He wants to keep the facade up of them having a great marriage together. So if that's the case, more power to you, Will and Jada. Y'all have a beautiful family, but both of your kids, well, 2 kids that y'all have together is weird as fuck. The only one that came out alright was Trey, in my eyes, but whatever. So yeah. Lowry said Will wrote in his book, "Our marriage wasn't working. We could no longer pretend. We were both miserable and clearly something had to change. However, the narrative about their relationship ended there, and somewhere after that they embarked on an open marriage." Smith told GQ he made the decision because he didn't want to write about their marriage solely from his perspective. Besides, it felt like he was a whole book. It was a whole book unto itself, Will said. Now check this out. Before I go on, their marriage mentors, the ones that they seeked asylum, well, I wouldn't say asylum, but that they seeked information from all the time, was Ruby D, and the fuck is Ruby D's husband's name? Ruby D, and damn it, his name slips me, but okay, go back to the movie Do the Right Thing. The guy who played the mayor, I forgot his name, and Ruby D. The guy that played the mayor, and the lady, the older lady that was in Do the Right Thing, they were married. If nobody knows. This is gonna bother me. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna look up who the hell was married to Ruby D. So is it this one? Yes, it is. There we go. This is what we gonna do. Ozzie Davis, that's his name. I don't even need to look it up now. Ozzie Davis. Ozzie Davis and Ruby D were Will and Jada's. Ozzie Davis and Ruby D was Will and Jada's marriage mentors. So if nobody knew this, Ruby D and Ozzie Davis had an open marriage as well. So thus we get Will and Jada. So not that anything he writes will change the perspective of his marriage, which has long been discreet by the public. The public has a narrative that is impenetrable, Smith said. Once the public decides something, it's difficult to impossible to dislodge the pictures and ideas and perceptions. Damn, this nigga needs to quit philosophizing his goddamn words. Yes, philosophize is not a word. I know that. All right, I'm just creating them as I go. So, Will also spoke to the magazine, being in his fuck it 50s and going on a journey to find himself and find happiness. 1 second. How's it that you're 50 and you have yet to find yourself? By being in the land of pretend, aka Hollyweird, that is what is allowing you not to know exactly who the fuck you are. So, Will, Jada, why don't y'all buy houses in y'all's neighborhoods that y'all grew up in so y'all can find a sense of self? Now, I know Baltimore's quite the place not to live, as well as Philly, in y'all's respected neighborhoods in West Philadelphia, as well as wherever the hell she lived at in Baltimore. But maybe y'all need to go back to the places of which you came to find who the fuck you are. Like they always say, you never know who you are until you. No, that's not the. That's not the quote. Anyway, I'm not about to sit here and think about this shit. I have a show to run, people. So, it included traveling to Peru and using ayahuasca, plant-based psychedelic, more than 12 times. Despite being mostly sober and never having smoked marijuana, he called it his first tiny taste of freedom. Now, if nobody knows what ayahuasca is, this is what ayahuasca is. It's another one out there. It's ayahuasca, and it starts with a D. I can't remember it. Anyway, ayahuasca basically puts you in a trance-like state for approximately 10 minutes. And you basically live, when you're high, you basically live out this sort of thing of knowing thyself and the universe and all kinds of shit. I've never taken it, but from accounts from me watching the Joe Rogan Experience podcast of the people that he's brought on who has taken it as well as him. DMT is the other one as well. It's DMT and ayahuasca. So with these psychedelics, from what people say, it helped them reach the God and shit like that. Like they've experienced like God or whatever. So they after that 10 minutes of of seeing the universe in a way, they come out of it starting to love everybody and wanting to do good in the world so they don't, put more destruction into it. They just want love to be the center of everything, which is cool, but I'm glad that Will has had that experience more than 12 times. So he's had quite the experience with ayahuasca. So yeah, if you smoke weed too, hey, do your thing, Will. Get high, alright? Weed's out there for everybody, alright? Some people can't do it like myself because they have jobs. So if any of my weed smokers out there, roll something up right now and smoke that. Hold on, roll that shit. What was it? Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke that shit. All right. So, in another part of the interview, he spoke about working with intimacy coach Michaela Bone for several years. He said he shared with her the idea that he wanted a harem of girlfriends, including Halle Berry and dancer Misty Copeland. Who the hell is Misty Copeland? Let's all look up who the hell Misty Copeland is. Misty Copeland. Okay. Okay. Let's put this in a new tab. That's not the tab I wanted. This is a better picture. Oh yeah. I just want the picture. Can I put the picture in a new tab? Open image in new tab. There we go. Oh yeah. Okay. I see what you're talking about, Will. Yeah. Her nose a little fucked up, but other than that, she cute. She looked just like your first wife. That's probably why he wanted to date her. But yeah, she cute though. She cute. She a little strong around the shoulders, but she alright though. She cool. This is a nice picture of her right here. Let's open that in a new tab. See her after. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. She look exactly like your first wife, Sheree. Yeah, she cute though. She cute, Will. So, I want to interrupt this before I get up out of here anytime soon. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel as well as my second channel. Second channel is Marcus Speaks Play. Description is in the description below. All right. So let's get this. Let's keep going. So, but yeah, Misty Copeland was cute. So yeah, that was tight, Will. So, part of the work was for him to contact the woman, though it's unclear if he did. I think he did. There's a picture of him and a light skinned chick. I think they was in Africa, if not Asia, somewhere. She was in, I think, like either a white or like a peach dress or some sort. It's on his Instagram. If that's Misty Copeland, then Shorty was cute, did a motherfucker. But anyway, I don't know where I saw it or some shit as a teenager, but the idea of traveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of and all of that, it seemed like a really great idea, Smith said. And then after we played out a little bit, it was like that would be horrific. I was like, can you imagine how miserable? Now, for some people, it would be like that. But you're Will Smith. Now, matter of fact, nah, that wouldn't have been a good idea after what happened to R. Kelly. We gonna get into that later as well. But there, yeah, well, yeah, that's a good idea. You shouldn't have did that, and I'm glad you didn't do that. So that was a good. That was the best idea you've ever had. He said the harem idea was really an exercise in cleaning out my mind, letting it know it was okay to be me. And I didn't ask you shit, Sarah. Uh, where am I at? Where am I at? Letting it know it was okay to be me and to be me and be who I was. It was okay to think Hallie is fine. It doesn't make me a bad person that I'm married and think Hallie is beautiful. Whereas in my mind, in my Christian upbringing, even my thoughts were sins. Now, I'm gonna play you one last vid of this topic, and it goes a little something like this.
Will Smith is getting honest about his marriage to Jada Pinkett-Smith. In a candid interview with GQ for the November cover story, the King Richard star shared an excerpt of his upcoming memoir that discusses a period when his marriage to the Matrix Resurrection star wasn't working, which led the 53-year-old actor to talk about the decision he and Jada made to not be monogamous, revealing she wasn't the only one, quote, engaging in other sexual relationships. Quote, Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship, so she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. There were significant, endless discussions about what is relational perfection, what is the perfect way to interact as a couple, and for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection, he said, adding, quote, "We have given each other trust and freedom with the belief that everybody has to find their own way, and marriage for us can't be a prison. And I don't suggest this road for anybody. But the experience of the freedoms that we've given one another and the unconditional support, to me, is the highest definition of love." In July 2020, Jada confirmed she had a relationship with R&B singer August Alston during a break.
Which, if you guys play out Jada's the role she played in Girls Trip. Was that art imitating life, or was that life imitating art? Because at that time, Will and her were split up. And in the movie, Jada's character was a divorcee with 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and she was a single struggling mother living with her mother. And she went on the girls' trip, and who was the person that she thought was fine? A younger black male. Damn, I'm good. Damn, I am good with Hello, everyone. I'm going to tell you about fair use. I am good with this shit. I am so good with this shit. My nigga, y'all didn't see that? Y'all didn't see that. Come on, y'all had to have seen that. It played right out in front of our eyes, especially in the movie. And we did not see, well, y'all didn't see it. I saw it immediately. So, everybody, if you could. I'm that damn good. I am that goddamn good. So, I'll let this continue.
And her marriage to Will. The pair opened up about this in an episode of her Facebook series, Red Table Talk.
I was in a lot of pain, and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. Mm-hmm. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that wasn't possible.
While many viewers may have left the episode thinking Jada was the only one engaging in other sexual relations, Will told GQ that was not the case, but didn't elaborate further. The couple has been married since 1997 and share 2 children together, 23-year-old Jaden and 20-year-old Willow.
Willow got some big ass titties. With that, so they're together, they're happy, they're living life. More power to Will and Jada. I hope y'all's marriage stays, I guess, however the fuck it is. I don't know what to say about that. So, that is that topic. Let's get into our second. And we didn't think we was going to see this face again, but we have. So, ex-officer Derek Chauvin is back in the news. So former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin does not have legal representation as he filed an intent to appeal his conviction and sentence earlier this week. So, let's get into it. Sorry, let me put this down.
This morning, former Minneapolis cop Derek Chauvin is appealing his April conviction in the murder of George Floyd. Chauvin raised 14 issues in his appeal, including the district court's denial of motions to change the venue, sequestering the jury during the trial, and the motion for continuance. Chauvin was sentenced in June, to 22 and a half years in prison.
Good evening.
All right. I didn't know how long that was. So anyway, Chauvin was convicted on state charges of second-degree manslaughter, second-degree murder, and third-degree murder after kneeling on George Floyd's neck for more than 9.5 minutes. Now Chauvin is attempting to appeal his conviction in 22 and a half year sentence, according to court documents. Chauvin says he doesn't have the money to retain private counsel for the appeal. So check this out. Here's more of a shocker, and this is how I think that. Well, I'll get into what he's doing with himself later on. But here's more of a shocker. There was a officer back in 2000, I think it was 15, maybe 17, 2015 to 2015 or 2017, by the name of Muhammad Noor, a black police officer in Minneapolis that shot a woman, an Australian woman. I think she was over here. She lived over here, but she was originally from Australia. Why Muhammad Noor shot her is because she walked up on a parked police car that was in an alleyway. I think why he shot her. The reason why she came up to the vehicle is because I think she had called 911 and stepped out of her house or saw that the cops were there. So she was like, fuck it, the cops is here. I might as well just go ahead and tell them what's going on. So when she approached the car, that's when Muhammad Noor shot the lady and she died. The lady was survived by, I think, her son and her husband. So he was sentenced to 12 and a half years. And I don't know his charges, but I know one of them is deadly force, manslaughter, and some other shit. But this week, I think Muhammad Noor's sentence got overturned. So he won't be doing the full 12 and a half. I think it got cut down, but I'm not sure how much it got cut down. But it did get cut down, which just is kind of looking in the way, because Muhammad Noor's crime was, in a sense, in reverse, like Derek Chauvin. So it could go into Derek's favor. Maybe. But here's the thing. So since it's possible that Chauvin's I can't even find the words right now. It's possible that Derek Chauvin's sentence can be overturned, but he lacks one thing. He needs to find the money to find legal counsel. In 1 second. All right, something's going on with my 1 second. Something's going on with my headphones. Hello? All right. 1 second. All right, I'm still getting that static, so how can I fix this? Sorry y'all had to deal with that, but what could be the problem here? All right, testing. All right, something's going on with these headphones for some reason. I don't know what the fuck the problem is, but as long as I can still hear myself and I still sound good in the on the audio, I'm good. So what I'll do, damn. Testing. Okay. All right, I really don't need to hear myself like that. Um, so yeah, Derek Chauvin basically, he needs to find counsel, but since he really doesn't have the money, he's working in jail, but they don't pay that much in jail. He needs to find counsel, but he doesn't have the money. The people that represented him in his murder trial, the people that paid for his representation, they only paid for it because at the time he still was considered a police officer. Although he was fired, he still was considered a police officer. And why did my music stop? All right. So, yeah, since he was still considered an officer, they paid for his legal counsel. But since he's not an officer anymore, they don't have any responsibility for him. That's who paid for his lawyer before, and that's who paid. That's who fronted the bill and everything. But since he's not a cop, they're not worried about it. They don't care. So, the district court case for which I intend to appeal was paid for by the Minneapolis Peace and Police Officers Association, and I have been informed that their obligation to pay for my representation terminated upon my conviction and sentencing. Chauvin said, "Duh, motherfucker! How do you think that they're still responsible for you? After you did what you did, got convicted, sentenced, they're no longer. That's no longer their obligation to pay for your shit anymore. So, since that's going on, you're stuck." So, during trial, Chauvin's defense attorney was Eric Nelson. Nelson's law firm partner, Marsh Hallberg of Hallberg Criminal Defense, confirms that Mr. Nelson does not represent Mr. Chauvin on the state appeal at this time. Chauvin applied for a public defender but was denied. He's now asking for the Minnesota Supreme Court to review the denial last Thursday. Chauvin also asked the court to move forward without being liable for costs. Friday, the request was denied. So that was last Friday. So, I think I know where it's coming from now. Okay, it's not coming from there. I know exactly where it's coming from. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just some shit going on over here. I have no idea what's going on with these headphones, but it doesn't matter at this point. So let's continue. Sorry. An additional court document circulating online shows Judge Peter Cahill ordered the state to pay Eric Nelson $5,000, a reasonable attorney's fee incurred in connection with the appeal. A spokesperson for the courts confirmed this was from a previous appeal when Nelson still represented Chauvin, not this currently. Derek Chauvin said he intends to appeal on 14 grounds. Among them, he claims Judge Peter Cahill abused his discretion when he denied Chauvin's request to move the trial out of Hennepin County due to pretrial publicity. Now, Derek, how do you think that you would have done outside of the city limits? Everybody's seen what happened on the news. Everybody knew it worldwide what had happened. So how is it that, in your mind, that you would then believe that being outside of Hennepin County would help you win your case? Why? Because of the people outside of the county wouldn't have known you or something like that for the jury? No, they still would have. They still known what you did, but it was up to 12 people. Plus, I think they had 3 alternates to then convict you on the same grounds. I really feel as though if it was outside of Hennepin County, it would have did the same. So, just saying. So what you need to do, you need to give one of the quarters that you earn from your jailhouse check. Stick that quarter in your ass because you just played yourself. He also claimed the judge abused his discretion when he denied a request to sequester the jury for the duration of the trial. And when he denied requests to postpone the trial or grant a new one. Okay. So I do agree with that. I do feel as though that Judge Peter Cahill should have sequestered the jury because during the trial, the guy from Brooklyn Center got killed by that woman police officer. If they had been sequestered, and they would have never seen the protests happening in Brooklyn Center, I do feel as though that some did happen in Minneapolis, but this is also a thing. If the jury would have been sequestered, they wouldn't have been able to go home and then talk about it to people that they know. Now, I do understand that Peter Cahill did have some leniency when it came to their immediate family. So husbands, daughters, wives, stuff like that. I do understand that he granted that to the jury, but I still feel as though that Peter Cahill should have sequestered the jury to like a hotel somewhere outside of the city or something like that. Because if that would have happened, we would have never got a story on Juror 52. Juror 52's name was Brandon Mitchell. Brandon Mitchell participated in the protests the day after, or that Saturday of last year after George Floyd died. Now, Juror 52 is a story within itself, because Juror 52 was asked on his questionnaire all kinds of questions when it comes to protests and stuff that he knows about the case. I really feel as though Brandon lied, for the simple fact that when asked the question, do you believe in Black Lives Matter being an organization? And I forgot the rest of the question, but it was around the question was around, do you believe in everything that the organization of BLM believes in? His answer was, I don't know of BLM being an organization. I know of it being a group of activists coming together trying to fight for the right of black people. Now, he was wrong on two of those things. The organization was built in its inception to fight for black people, but then it changed over time. So he was right, but he was also wrong. As well, Black Lives Matter is an organization, because if they was not an organization, they wouldn't have gotten donated $90 million last year. That then got ciphered between three or so people, but that's besides the fact. He lied. He got on the jury, and then Derek Chauvin's conviction happened. Look, they had alternates. They could have altered him out, and we don't know what it would have been after that. But he could have got altered out, but they didn't. So Chauvin is also charged in federal court for violating Floyd's civil rights when he knelt on the black man's neck for about 9.5 minutes as Floyd was face down on the pavement, not resisting and pleading for air. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. Now, check this out. That's not the only thing that he had going on. When he finally spoke at the sentencing, he said that the truth will come out, and he had other things to say, but he couldn't bring them up. He also had a trial for some shit that had happened, I think, back in early 2020. He killed like a 17-year-old or something. Oh no. He brutally beat up a 17-year-old. So, yeah, he had other issues that he was going through. So, what truth we'll know at this time, I have no idea what the hell he was talking about. So, that's further to come out as well. So, Chauvin had 90 days from his sentencing to file notice that he intended to appeal. In addition to his notice, he also filed a motion to put the appeals process on hold until the Supreme Court reviews an early decision to deny him a public defender to represent him in his appeal. In an affidavit, and I will show you that right now. In an affidavit filed last Thursday, Chauvin said he has no attorney in the appeals process and has no income aside from nominal prison wages. His case before Cahill was funded by the Minnesota Police and Peace Officer Association's Legal Defense Fund. Chauvin wrote, "I have been informed that they're obligated to pay for my representation terminated upon my conviction and sentencing." All grounds that Chauvin raised in his notice of intent to appeal has been raised previously by defense attorney Eric Nelson. As the case worked its way through the district court, Nelson had previously argued the intense publicity around Floyd's death tainted the jury pool in that the trial should have been moved away from Minneapolis. But homie, there's no way it would have been any different. It was shown on television around the world as well as it going viral on the internet. So it's no way that it being outside of the city and all kind of shit that he would have gotten a fairer trial. Like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. All right? Now, I hope y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that. So, all right. So, damn, I forgot where I was at. Okay, there was reports in February that Chauvin had been prepared to plead guilty to third-degree murder when an announcement during jury selection that Minneapolis reached a $27 million settlement with Floyd's family. Also, the fatal shooting of Dante Wright. That's the young man's name, Dante Wright. The fatal shooting of Dante Wright by a police officer in nearby Brooklyn Center happened during Chauvin's trial and sparked days of protests. That was only said, that one part, by him saying, by it being out that he'll plead guilty. I believe that was said by the attorney of the action, Al Sharpton's organization's called. That was said by the attorney Benjamin Crump. I don't know why he said that, because he's like a he's like a closing attorney or some shit like that. And how does he feel as though that he knew what Derek Chauvin would say? Derek Chauvin didn't believe in that he was innocent. So, I mean, that he was guilty, sorry. So, why would he plead guilty if he didn't believe he was guilty? Nor did his representation tell him that he should say that he was guilty. I don't understand where the hell the fuck that came from. But he did have a fair trial. And, why does Benjamin Crump even talk? We can barely fucking understand what the hell is coming out of his mouth. Like, we need the bouncing ball. We need the captions with the bouncing ball every time he talks, because if you can understand what the fuck he's talking about, please help me out, because I can never understand what the fuck this motherfucker's talking about. It's fucking ridiculous. So, Chauvin's court filing aside, Chauvin's court filing also said the district court erred when it concluded that Maurice Hall, the man who was with Floyd on the day of his arrest, would be forced to testify on behalf of the defense. He also said the court erred when it permitted prosecutors to present cumulative evidence on use of force. Now, if nobody saw that trial, I suggest y'all watch it, because there's one particular doctor, but the three medical examiners that were interviewed. There's one guy. It's a English gentleman with white hair, and I believe his beard's white as well. Damn, what the hell is his name? I think it's like Dr. Tobin or something like that. the way he explains what he found in his findings of when he was doing the autopsies on George Floyd, that shit was fucking impeccable. Look, this was my first trial that I ever watched, next to all the ones that I would glance at work, like the Casey Anthony trial, stuff like that. Those just trials that I glanced at. But this was this is one of the only trials I've ever watched. And when Dr. Tobin took the stand, I believe it was within the first week or so, that right there shut the whole case down to me. Because after that, it was like the prosecuting attorneys weren't even working that damn hard after that. There were so many other witnesses, but Dr. Tobin's testimony basically closed and shut the case for the defense. And then, to add insult to injury, that very same day, there was another medical examiner who did his findings, and what he said was the icing on the cake. That basically shut the defense down in my eyes. So if Derek Chauvin wants to hire Eric Nelson again, I suggest you not, because he didn't seem too prepared that day. So yeah, I suggest Derek Chauvin get over it and just sit his 22 and a half year self down. So this is also what I want to say about Maurice Hall. Maurice Hall, he didn't testify. He pled the fifth. Because Maurice Hall was the gentleman in the findings of fentanyl being in George Floyd's system. Maurice Hall was the one who contributed to that. So the reason why he didn't talk is for the simple fact that he was basically George Floyd's dealer, basically. So I believe Maurice was probably told not to testify, and he took that. He pled the fifth, and he didn't testify. But the woman he was with, that George Floyd met up with at the Cup Food store, and when he was in his car, Maurice was waiting in the car for him. So the reason why Maurice didn't take the stand is for the simple fact is that he didn't want to be involved in this, because his testimony probably would have threw everything off. So it was a good thing that he did that. It was a good thing he didn't testify. And plus his attorney that he showed up with basically told him, don't testify. So that is that. Chauvin said he also intends to argue that Cahill abused his discretion when he failed to allow Chauvin to strike clearly biased jurors for cause when he allowed the state to add a charge of third-degree murder. When he limited the admissibility of evidence from a prior arrest of Floyd, and when he denied Nelson's post-verdict request for a new trial, the request for a hearing to question jurors to investigate alleged misconduct. Now, why would George Floyd's prior arrest have anything to do with what you did to him? Now, they showed it, by him, I guess the defense wanted to show the jury and the court that this isn't George Floyd's first run-in with the law. This is the first time he's acted like this. So take this information for what it is and make your decision once you guys, go and talk about it. Which it had no merit, for the simple fact that although he was high during that arrest, it didn't show him being outwardly aggressive towards the cops at all. Neither was he aggressive with Derek Chauvin and the other other three, sorry. So what merit would that have stood on? I don't understand that part. So with that being said, I am behind you with the jury selection. Only one, Juror 52. But Jury 52 did his job to the best of his ability, so I can't be mad at Juror 52 for doing his job. I'm only mad at him lying. That's the only thing that I'm mad at. But other than that, he was sentenced. Derek Chauvin was sentenced, so that's that. So Nelson has accused juror Brandon Mitchell, Juror 52, of not being candid during jury selection because he didn't mention this that his participation in a march in 2020 to honor the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I don't even understand what the hell that would have to do with him being a juror. Like, what would that have to do with anything? Like, he participated in a protest. Okay. It was in D.C. Okay. What would that have to do with him being a jury member on the jury? I don't understand. So, prosecutors countered that Mitchell had been open about his views in a jury questionnaire and during jury questioning, or during juror questioning. Now, like I said, he wasn't telling the truth. That one question let me believe, the one I brought up earlier, let me believe that he was basically waiting to get on the case. He wanted to be a jury member so he could then tell his son and his grandkids that he was on the he was in the jury box with other 11 people that helped, and he was one of the people who helped convict Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd. Great story to tell, but you lied your way to get there. I don't think that's noble at all. I don't care, what you do with your story at all, but the way that you're going to tell your story makes you look stupid in history. Now, this was the first police officer ever to be convicted of not only police brutality, but death by a police officer. First one that we've ever fought against that got convicted. So I really feel as though that the way he'll tell a story won't be the best way. He should have been very honest with all of his views, because he probably wouldn't have been selected. Plus, he could have got alternated out. So, no fuss, no muss, right? So the judge ruled the defense didn't establish any evidence of juror misconduct during the trial during the trial or during jury selection that warranted an evidentiary hearing. So, this is what I'll play to end this part of the show.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We have
Okay, hold on.
breaking news. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is appealing his murder and manslaughter convictions.
Now, back in June, a jury found Chauvin guilty of murdering George Floyd. Amy Hawker joins us now with the very latest on this.
Randy and Kelsey, Derek Chauvin had 90 days to file this appeal. After his sentencing date tonight, we are at exactly 90 days. In this appeal that was filed tonight, Chauvin lays out about 14 different arguments. Among them, he says he was denied a fair trial because he had asked for a change of venue and didn't get it. He also claims he was at a disadvantage because the jury wasn't sequestered during the entire trial. Now, one thing to note about the appeal on his third-degree murder conviction. Just last week, you might remember the Supreme Court overturned the third-degree murder conviction for another former officer, Mohammed Noor, that was in the death of Justine Ruszczyk-Damon. I spoke with our legal analyst, Lee Hutton, tonight, and he says that Supreme Court decision could actually impact Chauvin's third-degree murder conviction, meaning if it's overturned as well, Chauvin's prison sentence would be reduced. Also interesting to note tonight, Derek Chauvin is appealing this all on his own without any legal representation. The court documents show that he has actually been denied representation by a public defender in this appeal, and he says he doesn't have the means to hire a private attorney. Chauvin is currently serving a 22-and-a-half-year sentence at Oak Park Heights Prison. Randy and Kelsey?
Any way to gauge how long this appeal process could take?
The short answer is no. Derek Chauvin is asking for a series of delays in this appeals process so that he can get his legal representation together. However, Lee Hutton did tell me tonight that the court is not obligated to give him legal representation, and there's a very good chance that Derek Chauvin will be appealing this on his own.
All right, thanks, Amy. Well, the number of...
All right. So, with that being said, Derek, I hope you rest in hell for what you did to George Floyd. And I hope you lose your appeal, so good riddance. Go ahead and die in jail. All right. So, I know what everybody's been sitting here waiting for. Where's my drum roll? I don't know where it's at. It's around here somewhere. Drum roll. No, wrong one. All right. So, everybody's favorite R&B artist, R. Kelly, aka the Pied Piper, aka Mr. Steal Your Daughter. Now, R. Kelly convicted of luring women, underage girls, for sex. Now, my man, well, he ain't my man, but he's been convicted finally for a few decades long conviction, I would say. Maybe if I change this. Alright. So, let me change this as well. Alright. So, yeah, the Pied Piper is in jail. He's been convicted, but not yet sentenced yet. But let's get into it. A mixture of relief and disbelief greeted the guilty verdict on Monday in the sex trafficking trial of singer R. Kelly, the most high-profile musician brought down in the Me Too era, but whose music remains popular on streaming services. Now, before I continue, this is what's going to happen while I'm talking about this. There's certain parts in here where y'all might think I'm taking up for him. I'm not. I'm giving y'all this disclaimer for this reason. There's some parts of what happened, it didn't look right. But certain parts of it did, so, some parts I'm a weighing on a side that isn't popular, and most parts of it I will. But you'll see. Just watch. So, people, can we take 1 minute for me to say this? Sex trafficking involves an exchange of sex for money. Now, I believe R. Kelly had a harem. Y'all remember me talking about a harem of what Will Smith wanted. R. Kelly had a harem of young hoes. I don't care what the fuck y'all think right now. He had a harem of young hoes. Most of those hoes was given to him by their parents. Some of the hoes came by themselves. But we all know that they were hoes. Now, sex trafficking involves sex for money. That's sex trafficking. From what I understand, didn't R. Kelly only fuck these women himself? So are we saying that, let's say that R. Kelly was the pimp. So are we saying that R. Kelly paid himself to fuck these women? Or young ladies, girls, what have you, whatever you want to call these girls. Was it R. Kelly that paid himself? Because let's be honest, it's sex trafficking he was brought up for, as well as racketeering. But the sex trafficking thing, who else was fucking, and was he getting paid from it? Because as far as what I understand, they didn't have enough evidence on the sex trafficking part. Although that they said that he had a cult-like, harem situation, and he would make these women do certain things. But as far as I understand, R. Kelly didn't have he wasn't sex trafficking. He was only fucking these women himself. So that's just what I have to say about that. So I don't understand. If he had a stable full of young hoes and he was the only one fucking them, on what occasion did he then sell sex for money? Was it with the dude nephew? The John Doe that testified? Did he pay to fuck the girls? Was it his staff and team that helped with this? Like, did they pay R. Kelly to fuck these girls? What happened? Because we don't know the full story. We want to be, we want to be informed as well. I'm making good time. So let's keep going. Jurors in Brooklyn Zoo. All right, jurors in Brooklyn. Federal court deliberated for a little more than a day before voting to convict the 54-year-old Kelly on all 9 counts he faced after a 5.5-week trial. Kelly kept his head down as the verdict was read, with his face shielded by a white mask, A woman watched from an overflow courtroom cried as the verdict was read, as did others who had waited to learn Kelly's fate in a park adjacent to the courthouse. One supporter played the singer's music there, including the song "Shut Up." Now, was that the YouTuber, the infamous Sylvia? Because everybody, if y'all don't know, there is a R. Kelly sector here on YouTube. And the only two that I know of thus far is the infamous Sylvia and Black CEO 2.0. These have been the two people I have been seeing religiously on YouTube, basically stating that R. Kelly did not do these crimes. Now, and what evidence do they have that back up their claim? Because the infamous Sylvia, every day and on the weekends, would read transcripts of the trial. Now, the only transcripts that was put out was the prosecutor's side. So I'm guessing it's more salacious that way, because the defense, they're basically just trying to defend R. Kelly, and it won't be as juicy. So the prosecutor's side of the trial was read out loud on the infamous Sylvia's channel. Now, if you go to the infamous Sylvia's channel and you go back 5.5 weeks, you'll see from jury selection all the way up until the verdict of the trial. So they have an R. Kelly sector here on YouTube, just to let y'all know. So, and it boggles my mind that these people even thought about doing this shit, because it makes them look bad at the end of the day. But with that being said, they're basically in support of a pedophile. I don't give a fuck what they say. They're in the support of a pedophile. If they catch wind of what I just said, hey, you're supporting a pedophile, you dumbasses. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Jesus Christ. That's how I feel about y'all. Flush that bullshit down the toilet. Now, Duvernay Kennick, a lawyer for Kelly, told reporters that the defense was disappointed. I'm sure will be appealing, he said. Kelly faces a mandatory minimum of 10 years behind bars and could face up to life in prison at his May 4th, 2022 sentencing. The singer, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, is one of the most prominent people tried on sex charges during the Me Too movement, which amplified accusations that dogged him since the early 2000s. It's been way longer than that. Ever since that shit with Aaliyah, that's when motherfuckers started dogging his ass. And with people who actually lived in Chicago, such as Corey Holcomb and D-Ray Davis, they've all spoke out and spoke up about how they would see him. Corey Holcomb has said various times on his podcast that when he used to live in Chicago and would play basketball, one time, R. Kelly and his team came and asked the guys, could R. Kelly come and play with them? And then shit started getting weird. Somehow R. Kelly took over the court and he could only play on that court. But Corey Holcomb did say that the motherfucker's weird. He likes young girls, And he's been seen countless times in the early days of him being in his career. He will always be seen at the McDonald's. I forgot what it's called. But it was a McDonald's. It was like a elaborate McDonald's. He would be seen there picking up young girls, as well as going back to his old high school. Now, although that was said in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, we all know that he liked picking up young girls. But if this is the most high profile thing, what about Harvey Weinstein? Wasn't he the first to get convicted of this Me Too shit? But he's probably somewhere at like a rich man's prison where they play golf every day and shit like that. But I'm just asking, Harvey Weinstein, also Bill Cosby, but he was seen not guilty for the shit that he did because they was after him as well. So, like Kelly, many of his accusers were black. Differentiating the case from recent Me Too convictions of comedian Bill Cosby and movie producer Harvey Weinstein. Cosby's conviction was overturned in June. Kelly also had black supporters. Not a lot of them, though. He didn't really have a lot of black support. If I could put it in numbers, and black people make up 13.3% of the American population, I would say probably 0.1 maybe was supporting them. And that's 0.1, not 0.1, that's 0.1 that supported them. That's 0.01% that was backing them. But just saying. But you also have the other motherfuckers that's over here on YouTube taking up for him as well that support him. So, Infamous Sylvia, Lexio 2.0. Okay. One Sylvia Thomas, I'm not even gonna try to say her last name. One Sylvia said in an interview that the verdict left her angry, upset, and seeing that this is white America, after she had attended the entire trial. I'm going to try to raise some money for him to try to get his appeal process started, said Sylvia. From the state of Georgia. She's from Georgia. Okay, so I'm going hard and I'm not giving up. I'm not. You see, Infamous Sylvia, you're taking up for a pedophile. Do you not understand how this doesn't look right? Because it doesn't look right, like, whatsoever. It does not look right whatsoever. So maybe you should just stand down and let him raise his own money, which he doesn't really have much anymore. He probably spent the last of his money on this case. Although streams are up, but he doesn't own his catalog. So how's he getting money? So Kelly had been charged with 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of violating the Mann Act, which prohibits transporting people across state lines for prostitution. This is what I want to know. Who else is included in these charges? So you have DeRico, which convicts a criminal enterprise, and then you have him violating the Mann Act. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all what the Mann Act and racketeering is in a minute. But will the parents of these girls be convicted? will staff, will management, will who else? Will his handlers be convicted as well? Because they have a hand in this shit too. Because if we take what the girl said, the bodyguards would tell the girls, here's R. Kelly's number, call him later. So that's bodyguards being put in this as well. So why wasn't they all charged at the same time? As well as management. The management had to know about this shit, so why didn't they get convicted as well? Just asking. So, and if it was a criminal enterprise, right? Where are all the underbosses and the minions at with this? Because they got to get charged as well. Like, he had to have people that worked for his criminal enterprise who were doing said acts as well. Just saying. So here's racketeering, a type of organized crime in which the perpetrators set up a coercive, fraudulent, and extortionary or otherwise illegal coordinated scheme or operation to repeatedly or consistently collect money or other profit. According to the current common and most general definition, racketeering is an organized crime act or activity in which the criminal act or activity is some form of substantial business or a way to earn illegal money either regularly or briefly but repeatedly. A racket is therefore generally a repeated or continuous organized crime operation or enterprise. Now, if he ran a criminal enterprise, correct? How in the fuck is he able to get off from this? Sorry, I said that wrong. How in the fuck are other people that worked for him able to get off on this? Because if he had a criminal enterprise that then were setting up a prostitution ring, where are everybody else in this? And I'm really gonna keep saying this shit. The parents should be charged as well. If there is no statute of limitation when it comes to this shit, all the parents who were involved in this shit should be taken to jail as well. Any of the girls' friends who had anything to do this, to push them along to be with R. Kelly, they should also get charged. People, if you could, like this video, share this video, share the channel, as well as sharing this video to all your social medias. And if you're new, please subscribe and hit the bell to all. How in the hell is R. Kelly the only person to get convicted of this shit? That's crazy. There's other moving parts in this. Now, I understand that they took testimony from the girls that was on Surviving R. Kelly. If they did, then why is it that and they also did things that is also illegal? Now, if coercion gets you out of getting sentenced for a crime, okay, then I understand that. But if it doesn't, the girls as well who were older, I forgot the one girl's name, But she said that she had sexual acts, most of them said this as well, had sexual acts with young girls, along with R. Kelly. So why aren't they also getting convicted in this criminal enterprise? Because if he had a criminal enterprise, they also worked within the criminal enterprise. Does anybody not get what I'm saying right now? They helped him do these crimes, as well as his staff, as well as everyone else. Just saying. This is what I'm gonna do real fast, and I hope this don't fuck it up. Hold on, everybody, because I really have to hear it myself. All right, that didn't help. So, damn, how do I fix this problem? All right, that didn't help. So anyway, so here's the Mann Act. The Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act of 1910, is a federal law that criminalizes the transportation of any woman or girl for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery, or for any other immoral purpose. Now, what would be an immoral purpose? Now, this is saying, let's take out as known as the White Slave Traffic Act. Let's take that out. Let's just take it in its bare bones. So that means if I take a girl out on a date, and let's say, you know, I'm not from her city, and I have a hotel room that is not in the state that she lives in, but in the next state over, which, let's say, her town borders the state she lives in the state that I'm actually in, that my hotel room is in. So, are you saying that I can be convicted for transporting a woman for, let's say, something that she wanted to do, as well as sex and stuff like that? So, I can be charged for transporting someone for immoral purposes? Immoral purposes is me thinking, hey, I might get some pussy tonight. Is that an immoral purpose? I don't understand. Now, if you guys don't know, the Mann Act was actually created because white dudes didn't like how the boxer, the heavyweight champion of the around the 1910s, 1920s, was moving. If y'all don't know who Jack Johnson is an old boxer. He used to whoop the shit out of these white dudes, and he got rich off of it. So, cause that happened, white dudes didn't like that. After he would win, white women would flock to him. So, in certain circumstances, white police officers at the time will see Jack Johnson speeding by with a nice looking white woman in his car. So then the Mann Act was created. So Jack Johnson got a whole law created behind the shit that he was doing, because he was knocking out white dudes inside of the ring and then knocking these white bitches down in the bed. Hey, can't be mad at him, all right? So, but they was pissed, and then, that happened. So, the racketeering charge gave prosecutors leeway to offer evidence that might otherwise be too old to prosecute. We hope that today's verdict brings some measure of comfort and closure to the victims. Acting U.S. Attorney Jacqueline Callis told reporters, I guess that's how you say her name, So, why didn't they bring up anything old? They did it to Bill Cosby. Why didn't they do it here? They could have brought up that sex tape he did that damn near everybody seen. When it came out, I was 14. I was in the 9th grade. I knew somebody who had it, well, whose family member that had it, but we never saw it for the simple fact that it's considered child pornography. So why he had it, I don't know, but I saw the cover. He bought it. He bought the bootleg of it. I saw the cover, and I looked at the back. Whatever. But anyway, it was basically child pornography. If anybody's seen that tape, let's say you was 18 when it came out, and you knew other people who had it, they was in possession of child porn. Black people basically bought it for the ignorance of them wanting to know if it was him or not. That's the reason why they bought it. Now, why the bootleggers were selling it, I have no idea. Only for the simple purposes that you downloaded child porn, then you burnt it onto a DVD ROM disc to several hundred of them, which if they got caught, they would do time in jail for having child porn, which is a felony. So, anyway, prosecutor said, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to play a video right now. So, here we go.
News R. Kelly, now a felon. Good evening, everyone, at 5 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter.
And I'm Sade Veteran-Ma. After decades of suspicion and allegations, a jury finding the singer guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking.
That verdict coming at the end of a 6-week trial. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett live at the federal courthouse in Brooklyn with the breaking news. NJ.
That's it, Bill. R&B superstar R. Kelly, once a national, global celebrity, convicted on every count in the indictment, racketeering and sex trafficking. He was found guilty on the first full day of deliberations. It was a quick verdict, which is always a bad sign for the defense. For the government and the victims, vindication for allegations that go back decades.
Today's guilty verdict forever brands R. Kelly as a predator who used his fame and fortune to prey on the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless for his own sexual gratification.
Kelly was found guilty of all 9 counts in the indictment, racketeering and sex trafficking, specifically arranging sexual encounters with underage victims across state lines.
The jury delivered a powerful message to men like R. Kelly. No matter how long it takes, the long arm of the law will catch up with you.
I believe I can fly. R. Kelly's career took flight in the 1990s, only to crash and burn in the years that followed. Prosecutors said the Grammy-winning R&B superstar used his fame and fortune to exploit the victims for his own sexual gratification, allegedly luring them into his world and keeping them there through fear and intimidation. Prosecutors claimed Kelly married the late Brooklyn-born R&B singer Aaliyah when she was 15, after providing her with a fake ID. Kelly did not testify in his own defense, instead allowing his lawyers to portray him as the victim of groupies, stalkers, and gold diggers. His attorneys accused the government of a rush to judgment and accused the media of running wild. They promised to appeal.
Of course, Mr. Kelly is disappointed. He was not anticipating this verdict because based on the evidence, why should he anticipate this verdict?
Attorney Gloria Allred representing 3 of the victims.
I have been practicing law for 47 years. During this time, I have pursued many sexual predators who have committed crimes against women and children. Of all the predators that I have pursued, however, Mr. Kelly is the worst.
Well, Kelly was found to be a flight risk and has been ordered held without bail since 2019. He is 54 years old and could face up to life in prison at his sentencing, which is scheduled for May of next year. We're live at U.S. District Court.
All right. So, that was said. So, prosecutors said Kelly took advantage of his fame and charisma to recruit victims, including some plucked from crowds at his concerts. With the aid of people in his entourage, witnesses said some victims had hoped Kelly could jumpstart their careers, only to find he demanded their strict obedience and would punish them if they failed. With that being said, what about the ones that threw themselves at Kelly? Let's not leave that part out. Only for the simple fact is that if you listen to some of them girls' testimonies, some of it, look, I know what y'all might say, believe all women, right? It's not that easy, all right? Because anybody can lie. So I would say some of them were recruited, didn't know what the fuck that they were getting into, and then bullshit happened. But I won't say that all of them were victims. Some of them threw themselves at R. Kelly. So why can't we just say that? Because, come on, let's be honest some more. We all went to school and we all knew who the hoes were. And we all remember most of those girls would have their 20-something-year-old boyfriends coming to get them after school. Let's be honest about that. We all seen it. We've all been through that shit by either liking a girl that didn't like you and then see her ride off of a motherfucker in a Honda Civic, or, you know, somehow or another when we would be at the mall, we'll see said girl with a nigga we never seen before. And then finding out that that's her 21-year-old boyfriend. Now, which is even scarier, when I would go to dances, if you was bringing someone that was over the age of 18, preferably in their 20s, they had to have some sort of like written permission in order for them to be there, which is crazy. So, which means even the schools know that there are some young hoes. Just saying. This is the crazy part. I ask my nephew almost every time when I'm joking around with him. But when I'm joking around with him with this part, I'm usually being serious. I'll be asking him, you fucking any of those young hoes at the school? He says no, reluctantly. But I'm glad he ain't fucking with none of these young hoes. Alright? I don't want him to have that shit sitting on his mind for the simple fact that they hoes. Like, let's be very honest with ourselves. We all know who the young hoes were when we was in high school. We also knew who the hell the young hoes were when we got out of high school. Because either they was a child of somebody, of someone that we knew, or something like that. And they did the same shit that we saw the girls do when we was in high school, which is leave school with their older boyfriend. Y'all want to hear a crazy story? I dated a girl. I say what? It's been 6 years now. From when we met, it's been 6 years. When I was dating her, I found out that when she was 15, she had a 26-year-old boyfriend. Now, y'all put that in y'all's mind and think about it. I asked her parents how they thought about it. They said that he was a nice guy. I further knew what the hell I was dealing with after that was said. So y'all just think about that part. All right. So, trial testimony from the 45th government witness portrayed often in graphic detail and unseemingly side to Kelly's 30-year music career, whose highlights include the 1996 Grammy-winning smash "I Believe I Can Fly." Kelly has repeatedly denied sexual abuse accusations. Now, "Step in the Name of Love" was way bigger than "I Believe I Can Fly." I would take that over "I Believe I Can Fly," "Step in the Name of Love," as well as "Happy People," "I Wish," and yeah, "I Wish." Come on now, everybody was saying this shit. "Come and braid my hair. Oh, come and braid my hair." I can't sing. I don't give a fuck. So, his alleged victims included the late singer Aaliyah, who Kelly briefly and illegally married in 1994 when she was 15. Aaliyah died in 2001 in a plane crash. Many accusations against Kelly were included in the January 2019 Lifetime documentary "Surviving R. Kelly." We commend the survivors for their bravery in speaking out and sharing their stories. Lifetime and the documentary's producer said in a joint statement, they have opened up important conversations on sexual abuse that needed to happen. There was something fishy too about that goddamn documentary as well. So, now I said that shit 2 years ago when it came out. Only for the simple fact is that everybody had the same story. Now, I'm not saying that it's out of the norm, but everybody had the same story. But everybody who met him also had the same dream. Let that sit for a minute. All of them wanted to be singers, did they not? All of them wanted to be famous, did they not? They saw R. Kelly, as a conduit to put them in the spotlight, but then they got what happened to them. Now, R. Kelly is basically convicted now of what he was accused of and went to trial for back in 2004 from the sex tape coming out. And hadn't that New York Times journalist not have gotten that tape, we would have never seen the tape. And the way he got that tape was from somebody who was one of R. Kelly's girls. Which was the girl's name I can't think of right now. Now, I'm not taking up for R. Kelly, right? I'm calling the thing a thing. You had girls who met him who wanted to be singers and stars. They saw Kelly and them knowing that R. Kelly is a singer-songwriter and a star. So they thought, hey, He has various Grammys. He has various hit albums, and all of his songs top the charts. What if I got into it with him, have him write me a song, and then I'd be a star? He'll push this song to the record executives at his record label. They'll fall in love with the song. They'll sign me. I'll be a star. But they got dick. Like, I'm not saying that figuratively. I'm saying it as an actuality. They got dick. So, all of their stories were basically the same. Several witnesses testified that Kelly installed fear in his victims, did not fulfill his every need, sexually and otherwise. Jurors heard how Kelly would compel victims to follow Rob's rules, including that they called him daddy and get permission to eat or go to the bathroom. Now that's sick. If that's true, that's sick. So, witnesses said Kelly pressed accusers to write apology letters. Wait a minute, he can't read or write. So why in the fuck would he have them write letters if he can't read the shit? So, accusers to write apology letters to potentially absolve him of wrongdoing and concealed before intercourse that he had contracted herpes. How did R. Kelly get herpes if he had a harem full of girls? That means either somebody came in with the herpes or somebody that... Never mind. But I just want to know, how did he get herpes? So anyway. One witness who identified herself as Sonia testified she had hoped to interview Kelly for a radio station where she was interning. When he locked her up for at least 2 days without food or water, and then abused her. But R. Kelly had other bitches he was fucking. Why would he take you and have you locked in a room for 2 days and then abuse you? Like, he had women that he was already sexually abusing. I don't know. Maybe he starves for sex. I don't know. Where am I at? At least 2 days. Okay, so you know what? Do you know what would be a better documentary than Surviving R. Kelly? Who gave R. Kelly herpes on TNT? Now, I will watch that. If it's how long was the R. Kelly documentary for? 3 days, 3 or 4 days? I will watch a 3 or 4 day docuseries of who gave R. Kelly herpes on TNT network. I've been hiding from R. Kelly in fear, Sonia said in a statement read by her lawyer, Gloria Allred. That bitch. I'm ready to start living my life free from fear and to start the healing process. Now here's Gloria Allred, what the fuck she had to say, and why I'm playing this is beyond me, but let's go.
I have been practicing law for 47 years. During this time, I have pursued many sexual predators who have committed crimes against women and children. Of all the predators that I have pursued, however, Mr. Kelly is the worst for many reasons. First, he used the power of his celebrity to recruit vulnerable underage girls for the purpose of sexually abusing them. Second, he used the power of his business enterprise and many of his inner circle employees.
Now, when she says recruit, does that mean by their own will? Because if they went on their own will, then we would have to say that he didn't really sexually abuse these girls. Maybe I'm just talking out of term. I'm just saying. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of term, but let's go forward.
To assist him and enable him in his plan and his scheme to lure his victims to him, isolate them, intimidate them, control them, indoctrinate them, punish them, shame them, and humiliate them. Let this be a message to other celebrities who also use their fame to prey on their fans and others who are unfortunate enough to come into contact with them. You're also likely to face serious consequences for your criminal conduct. The issue is not if the law will catch up to you. The only question is when.
Now, what I have to say about her, that's the same lady that got Bill Cosby jammed up. Now, I'm gonna continue, but right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna find a video for the end, and then I'll come back. So I'll be right back. to hear that her client had been mentioned during the trial. Holy shit. Yo, I did not know I was muted that damn long. Yo, that's so crazy. I did not know I didn't know I was muted that damn long. That's crazy. I read through probably like eight pages. I'm gonna end it here. But basically, this is basically what I said in all. I can't believe I did that. So, this is what happened. Basically the criminal enterprise, they got him up for criminal enterprise. Some people are asking why other people aren't in the indictment with him in New York. So there's two guys by June Brown and Darrell McDavid. They're being prosecuted in Chicago along with Kelly, and they have business dealings with Kelly because Kelly hired them. And what else did I miss out on? Did y'all miss out on me talking about? Some music catalog holder won't buy R. Kelly's music catalog or whatever, so Kelly could make money from it, so he could put on his to hire his lawyers for his appeal. Oh my gosh, I did not know. I'm so sorry. I've been talking for that damn long, but this is what I'll do. I'll leave with a video. Bill Cosby's representative had this to say.
We talked about it today. And the first thing he said, he was like, look, the guy was railroaded. As he said that Gloria already did the same thing that she did with him. You parade women out and you stir up the public sentiment to go against him. And that's what they did to R. Kelly. My client was conviction was vacated by the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court because they saw the truth. And what we see in America.
Look, I don't know who this other guy is, but y'all gonna have to deal with it. Alright. But that is Bill Cosby's representative in the TMZ part of the video. So
don't say nothing, Bill Cosby, this is not the right time to say something. You just got out. So, Bill, please, if you don't shut up right now.
All right, hold on.
Because people, that's what I want y'all to do. I'm tired of people talking for Bill Cosby. You don't need bombs. Go by no bomb.
All right, so there's nothing. So, everybody, look, I'm so sorry. I might have to redo this video probably tomorrow. Damn. I am so look. I've been having trouble with my headphones this episode. For some reason they wanted to start fucking up. So I couldn't hear myself in my headphones. Therefore, when I muted the headphones, it also muted my mic. So yeah. This won't happen again. I may take this video down, then redo it tomorrow. So, dang. Anyway, this is how we gonna do this. I'm gonna hit y'all with my theme music and get y'all out of here. So, So, if y'all could like this video, share this video to y'all social media, as well as sharing the channel to y'all social media to help me out. Alright? Help me help you. Alright? And if you're new, please hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell to all so you can get all my notifications. Alright? Please don't forget, Marcus Speaks Live is every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright? As well, on Fridays, please don't forget Marcus Speaks Play at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. Now, Marcus Speaks Play streams to both my main channel here on YouTube as well as my secondary channel, mainly for my gameplay, which is Marcus Speaks Play. You can find it on my main channel. You can subscribe there to my second channel. As well, type in Marcus Speaks Play and subscribe. Hit that bell button to all, alright? It don't hurt. I promise you it won't hurt. Now, I am streaming live using restream.com to both Facebook and YouTube. Alright? To all my Facebook people, I am sorry again. As well as my YouTube people, I am sorry. As the video went out there, I don't know if I got any sort of on both sides. Alright, that's great. Doesn't matter. So, it's coming down anyway, and you can just see it here on YouTube. So, maybe I'm only allotted an hour on Facebook now and YouTube. So please, again, follow me on my second channel, Marcus Speaks Play. The link is in the description below. If you have any sort of show idea or story recommendation that you want me to cover, or if you have any game recommendation, please put them either in the live chat, the comment section on either YouTube or Facebook, or you can hit me up in my DMs. And the way you can follow me on social media so you can give me these ideas or recommendations is on Instagram at marcus.speaks.podcast, at Facebook at Marcus Speaks. That's the personal page. Also have a group page over there, a nice little fan page, which is Marcus Speaks Podcast. Where you can find that is either Marcus Speaks Podcast or Marcus Speaks PC. Try either one, you'll find it. Alright? And I'm also on Twitter. So when I post the thumbnail onto my Instagram, it goes both to the group page on Facebook and Twitter. So follow me on all of them, and you'll see what the topic of discussion is of the night. So again, if I could, I want y'all to know I have my main channel, which is Marcus Speaks, as well as my second channel, Marcus Speaks Play. Please go and subscribe. You can find them on either or. Find me on Marcus Speaks Play. You'll see Marcus Speaks. See me on, if you type in Marcus Speaks. Marcus Speaks Play will also be on that channel. Subscribe to both. Alright? And if you could, again, please like this video. Share this video to your social medias, as well as your share the video to, or not share the video, share the channel on your social medias. And you can hit the bell to all when you subscribe if you're new, so you can get all of my notifications. Alright? So I'm out of here. Like I said, I'm sorry for what happened. I'll possibly might have to redo it or cut that part out. So I'll check y'all out probably tomorrow. Because if you don't know, tomorrow is my birthday. So it's a possibility that you will see me tomorrow. So I thank y'all for watching, for what you heard. And again, I'm sorry. So thank y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.